Deimos is the brand new operator coming in Year 9 Season 1 to Rainbow Six Siege, and this dude is one of the most fun operators in the game. He's a tactical soloist with an epic ability that's just challenging enough to make him the perfect level of funness. But really, how good is Deimos? Today we're going to break down this brand new R6 operator and talk about some of the best strategies and counter strategies so that you can get really good with Deimos really fast while being able to deal with the annoyance of his tracks on the defense. And I have to give a big shout out to Ubisoft for having me out in Brazil for the R6 Invitational and for giving me this opportunity to test the brand new R6 season before its release. But firstly, how does this operator even work? Deimos has these little drone things that he sends out that track people live, but you have to scroll through the operators and pick which defender you want to track first. Once you do that, he sends out his little mini helicopter tracky boy. It flies over, starts live pinging them, but the thing is, you're only seeing this from Deimos' perspective. The rest of your team can't see this live ping, and the other thing is that Deimos also gets tracked himself in a little different manner. So the person Deimos is tracking is getting this live ping, similar to Grim's Bees when you're standing in the middle of it, where it's just this live, consistent track. And Deimos' track on himself is more of a jackal track, where it pings him occasionally just so the defender knows where he's at. So basically, Deimos gets wall hacks on the defender, but the defender gets the benefit of being able to at least sort of run away from Deimos and try to avoid him if they can, or they can use that info to try and push aggressively at him, which would be really stupid because Deimos essentially has wall hacks on them. But in the right situations, if they're getting pinched or their only option is to fight him, then this will at least give them a slight advantage compared to not knowing any idea where he's at. This little drone, when it's on the defenders, also makes them much more visible, I find, with this little light up beacon swirling around their head. So it also makes it easier for your other teammates to kill the defender that's being tracked, in my opinion. Well, that's not even an opinion. It's just easier because they're fucking glowing. And for a loadout, this dude is packing a punch with the AK-74M, the same gun that Nomad has, which is a assault rifle. It's pretty good. It's okay. It's like a mid gun. It's got a lot of bullets, but you know, it's a fun gun. The only thing is he can only equip one-time sights on it, so that kind of sucks because literally every other attacker in the game can put ACOGs on now. So his primer is just weaker overall. And then he also has the SAS shotgun, which personally, that's what I'm going to run. I think that's the play because the real star of the show is the 44 Vendetta, the brand new pistol. It has 6 bullets, literally no recoil, and it's just a 2-shot kill on the defenders. This is also the gun that he can use while his ability is active. He can't switch back to his primary, so while his ability is active, you have to use the 44 Vendetta. So if you suck with it, don't pick Deimos because you're going to get fried when you use your ability. This thing is sick. It can shoot holes in walls so you can make like long range angles, and yeah, an absolute W gun made by Ubisoft. I'll talk a little bit about that more in a bit. Wow, tough with the words here today. One of my favorite parts about his loadout though is that he has grenades and hard breach gadgets, and I think Ubisoft cannot have picked better secondary utility for him. The grenades allows you to push people out of positions. If you see those pings and they're back in a corner, you can push them out of that position and kill them with the pistol. While the hard breach tools are great for once you clear those roamers out, you can open up those hatches or do whatever you want with them. Open walls if you're in the situation. So I think he's very versatile in that sense, and I think that's what he needed to really round him out, because I feel like if he didn't have those things, he would be a little one-dimensional as a character. So I think this is the perfect loadout. It's a great loadout. Top tier loadout. Not too strong, not too weak, and multifaceted, so that's ideal. So the intended purpose for Deimos and the main use for him is to hunt down roamers, those aggressive players that we've been dealing with for so long. He is the counter to that. When you have live tracks on someone and they know that you do, they are going to run away because you can pre-fire them. You just know exactly where they are. The rest of your team doesn't know, but that's okay because you should be the one pushing off that information. Because you have the live tracks on them, you should be the guy that's pushing in on them and capitalizing off those live tracks, because that's how you be able to pre-fire and actually use them to your advantage. Otherwise, you could just bring Jackal and just call out the general area. So you want to make sure as Deimos, you're actually getting in there and pushing off those tracks, because you're the guy that's going to go kill those roamers with your 2-shot pistol, which is insane. But if you manage to lose that gunfight, then the roam clear is not going to be as effective. So there's definitely some downsides to this, because you are just straight up taking a one-on-one gunfight to try and get the kill. So it's a little risky, but I think it'll still be advantageous enough that you should get the kill most of the time, especially if you're playing on maps with a lot of soft walls where you can wall bang them or floor bang them. There's gonna be some beautiful plays with Deimos. I know that for sure. And he's definitely gonna be stronger the higher in rank you go. So the pros using this operator is going to be so efficient. And the reason for this is because communication is better the higher you go in the ranks and the higher you go in skill level of competition or whatever. Meaning, once you see those pings, you can call it out to your team, and the better you can call it out to your team, the better he's going to be, because the better you can capitalize on that information. That being said, even in the lower ranks, he's also going to be really good if you want to just become a master of Deimos, because what's going to happen in the lower ranks is you're going to track that defender, and he's not going to call you out. He's not going to call you out based on where you are, off your pings, on you, as Deimos, which means his teammates aren't going to help him, and you can just walk in and fry those guys. You can just track people, fry them, track them, fry them, repeat, and you can do this 3 times, because he has 3 of these motherfucking drones. I think, does he have 3? He might have 2. I think it's 3. Probably 3. Let's go with 3. So the moral of the story, he's going to be pretty solid in most of the ranks. At the same time, I think he might be a little mid, just because of the fact that that pistol only has 6 bullets, and unless you have incredible aim and you're landing your shots, it might be rough. Me personally, on the setup I had in Brazil, didn't have the right sense. Things were a little messy. It wasn't my own setup, and I was missing a lot, and that was hurting me. So if you don't have that premium plus battle pass aim, then it might be a little tough to get those kills. So maybe you just want to make sure you're shooting slower. You're really taking your time with those shots, because 6 bullets is not a lot, and it's essentially the same as using a DMR, right? So if you suck with a DMR, you might suck with Deimos. This is what I think the best way to play Deimos is. In the prep phase, get your drone in the building and scan as many people as you can. The thing about his ability is you can only use it on the defenders that have been scanned already. So if you don't know who the defenders are, or you have no people scanned, you can't use his ability. From there, you want to play as an entry. Get in, get active, go for the wall bangs off of those Deimos pings, etc. Whatever you need to do to get the kill. You want to be aggressive. You want to push those defenders, and you want to do it with information still. So before you get in and push them and you use your ability, make sure you drone out that initial area. Gather a little bit of control first. Figure out where the roamers actually are, and once you know where they are and how you can make that play, that's when you want to use your ability and get in and push off of it and take them out. It is very tactical, but it is all achievable by yourself, which is what makes Deimos so cool, is that he really is just this lethal killer. He gets in and he smokes them. It's sick. So yeah, prep phase, get your drone in, scan some people, maybe get your drone out again if you can, because the info is very important. And then during the round, drone out the initial area, take some control, try to get some more info from either your teammates or your own drones as to where the roamers actually are. And then once you know it's time to capitalize, pop that ability, get in there, do some wall bangs, do some pre-firing, get that vendetta-ing, and clap some cheeks. And if you want to make it even easier and you have a 5-stack, let's say, or even just a duo, then there are some deadly operator combos with Deimos, including Lion, Blitz, and Dokkaebi. I think these are the 3 top tier ones. Dokkaebi allows you to clear the map a little more safer and actually push off your Deimos track a little safer, knowing what's going on, knowing if there's anyone else around. The Blitz is perfect for calling out where they are and just sending him in with a flash shield to go and kill them. I think Blitz is probably like the 3rd pick of the 3 that I would go with, because Lion is just also top tier with Deimos, because what you can do is you can live track them with Deimos and then call a Lion scan, and if they try to move, they're getting pinged for the whole team, and if they don't move, they are a not moving target that you have wall hacks on, which is insane. This is especially strong if you've already cleared the map and then you're tracking the defenders on sites to try and floor bang, because what's going to happen is the floor bangs are very easy if they're not moving as Deimos, but if they are moving, it's a little tougher, which is where the Lion scan comes in, and either they stop moving and you get the kill, or they continue moving and your entire team is just beaming them from multiple directions and capitalizing off that info, because that's very, very strong. At this point, Deimos might be sounding a little too deadly, so let's talk about the counters to Deimos and how we can actually avoid getting vendetta'd in our assholes by him. Okay, cool. So, if you get tracked on the roam, what is your best course of action? Well, running back to the site. Go back to the site. It's the safest place on the map. You can always come back on a flank or whatever, but getting back to the site is going to preserve your life and be able to actually keep you in the round a little longer and actually do something later on. So yeah, run back to the site. That's the best bet. Unless he's like on the other side of the map and he's not influencing where you're at whatsoever, or you have just like a bunker of cover that you can't get wallbang through, then outside of that, just run back to the site. Now, if you're on the site and you get tracked, or you're on a different floor than Deimos, what do you do now? Do you still run back to the site? Well, probably not, because you don't really need to, and that might even be more dangerous, but you can sit on an indestructible floor. So if the floor is indestructible and he's underneath you, perfect. If the ceiling's indestructible and he's above you, perfect, you're good. You're not going to die. He can't wallbang you. Keep in mind, he can still call you out, so don't be exposed to like a million other angles on the same floor as you. Or if this is not an option, there's no indestructible surface you can sit under, then continue sprinting around. If you continue moving, you're difficult to wallbang, just like I mentioned with Lion. If you just keep sprinting, it's really hard to hit those pings. So just keep sprinting around, keep moving. You don't even have to move very far. Just maybe run in circles. Just run in circles or something. Unless he opens an entire hole above the floor. Then in that case, don't run in circles because he'll still be able to see you. So yeah, just run around, try to avoid staying still. That's all you got to do, and you should be okay. Vigil is also a really good counter, simply because Deimos is an idiot if he tries to use his track on you. Vigil Scanner completely counters the live pings, and it also counters the bots actually attaching to him, I believe, while it's active. So let's say Vigil's running around the map casually with his scanner on, avoiding drones, and Deimos tries to use it on him, it just won't track him. But if he's not using a scanner, and then the bot flies in and attaches to him, you can then use your scanner to avoid the ping for the duration of it. I'm not sure which one is longer, so you might get tracked for a little bit of time, but he's still very, very efficient in countering that ability. And if you're Deimos, just don't use it on Vigil, because he's literally a direct counter to him. So if you see a Vigil's roaming, just maybe try to use it on the other roamers, or save them for later in the round, or something like that. Mute is one of the best counters of them all. Just classic mute being the counter to everyone. Mute is so strong. I might actually become a full-time mute main this season, because this is just one other thing that he counters, and he's already so good. So yeah, if you're standing in a mute jammer and Deimos tracks you, the cam won't actually attach to you. It won't work at all. If you're already tracked, you can move into the radius of the mute jammer, but you have to stay in it for the duration of the track, because once you leave the mute jammer radius, if you're still being tracked, it will live track you again. So you just have to sit in a mute jammer, but still, great counter, great counter. And then we have the last counter, which is Capcan, because as Deimos, they will tunnel vision. They will see those live tracks and be like, I gotta push this guy, I gotta go. Might forget about the Capcan traps, the 5 or 3 or 4 or 2. Don't put 5 Capcan traps on the door. The 3 Capcan traps that will absolutely nuke his ass sky high. So, Capcan, great. Just because of the sense that Deimos is going to tunnel vision on whoever he's tracking. And that's pretty much all I have right now for Deimos, but stay tuned, because I will be making more Deimos videos in the future. This guy is a freaking sick beast, so subscribe for that. Thanks for watching, and thank you again to Ubisoft for taking me out to the Rainbow Six Invitational. Peace.